I'd like to begin with a fact. Whether in a small town like McAllen and the Rio Grande, or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, it is business. Big business.
Yo, what is popping? It's Dott Dee, man. And welcome back to the Upper Echelon episode. I'm going to say episode 2 because if you remember, we were here 2 years ago. I was here 2 years ago. Yeah, I think my cousin was in the background. But I was letting you guys know that the whole concept of the Upper Echelon show was something that I shot as a pilot 2 years ago. And then once before that with like a friend of mine or Young Pharoah. And we are back. We're back with a guest that I'm waiting for. You know, we're not going to talk about African and black man's timing. But, you know, it was a bit tentative, you know, but I'm trusting for my guest to join us at some point between now and the next 45 minutes. But in between time, there's a lot that I need to, you know, catch up with you lot on, you know. I think for the longest, people been waiting to hear our voice. And when I mean our voice, I mean us as a brand, what we stand for. Look, I'm wearing, as you know, one of the things that I love to wear, one of the 4.0 pieces from a few years ago. I'm actually mixing and matching here, Mixing and matching the 4.0 sample jumper with the 4.0 trouser, official tissue, like the official version, just without a logo. Just because I love wearing it, like in different, got a few pieces. So reason I wanted to come back and do this is that I wanted to shoot that pilot a few years ago, get to grips with how, you know, I wanted to position our standpoint. And our standpoint is really, you know, we're not here for any fugazi, frivolous chat, and we really want to cover real issues, real business topics, real entrepreneurial, inspiring topics. And I think our position, trying to be the upper echelon within this thing, really just to make high-end garments, high-end content, and thought-provoking conversations that can actually drive innovation, drive change, drive inspiration throughout the community. Some of you might have clocked this nice rucksack of mine. It's from a friend of mine's brand called Daniel Duwipri. I was looking for a rucksack for the longest, and all of them Louis Vuitton rucksacks, Michaels, Sean Michaels, all of them bags they just didn't make no sense. Like, they charge you in some ridiculous prices, and the bag is not even all that. Like, you know, so that's what we want to do. We want to put brands on the forefront, and I'm going to continue to push brands, company services. I encourage any of you guys, if you've got, you know, some hard businesses, services that you guys are providing the people, and you want us to be able to let the people know exactly why you guys are the best and experts in your field, get in touch with us. I'm going to put the email address up, you know, the Instagram, DM us, email us. And really, I want to be having a few sponsors of the Upper Echelon show that can actually, you know, tie in well with exactly what we want to provide to the people, which is the upper echelon for all. The upper echelon in product, in service. And if you've got those types of products and services, get in touch with us. In fact, the only regret that you'll have is that you didn't do it sooner. All right? So let's do that. A zap. What are we in? 3-4 minutes in. And listen, since the last time we were here, people, like, I've gone away and we've dropped a whole new collection, the Forever Young clothing collection. And you lot have been seeing it. You've been seeing it in 4 different colours. You've been seeing the Clio technical jumpsuits. You've been seeing the 5FY two-tony leather jacket. You get me? You've been seeing that. You've been seeing the stemmer leather cap on my head right now, yeah? Which is top-notch, 100% leather, CH, cowhide leather. And I've been teasing for the last few months, or the best part of a year, the position that we've brought, you know, or that we've sort of found ourselves in when it comes down to this luxury apparel streetwear. I didn't want to come this time round with a similar collection to this 4.0 collection. So what I did is we doubled back and came back with a light windbreaker suit. And that's what that Naught Techno suit is windbreaker material. So it's ultra light, can be worn in the summertime, could be worn in the autumn, winter, spring. It's all season. It's an all season garment, right? So it basically is water resistant, wind resistant, and it obviously reacts well to the elements, right? So if it does rain, if it does happen to, some gale force winds, your garment is just chilling. Like, not many of our competitors can create the types of garments that are high quality in their production, but also in their functionality, their tailoring, and their details, attention to details. So if you guys haven't got one of 4 of those Naught Techno tracksuits, I know that we've been doing some special offers this month of July, which may continue, especially if you're getting multiple suits. Some people do like to buy 2, 3, 4 suits at a time. I've had some of the ladies buy 4 Clio technical suits as well as a few track suits that they like as well. So I would encourage you guys, get in touch with us, get one of the Naught Techno suits, get 2 of the Naught Techno suits, get 3 of the Naught Techno suits, get 4 of the Naught Techno suits. And with the Clio technicals, mix and match that as well. If you're ladies, it's for the ladies. So if you're feeling 1 of them, 2 of them, cop that, support us. Would appreciate your support. I appreciate your business. So I always said to myself, if I come back round to do this, like I'll feel a lot more comfortable doing it. Not only on my ones if I needed to, you got to put it on your back, right? I'm strong enough. I could wear this on my back. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a case of me flying the flag, I said when I come back round, how do I want to come back to position us with this whole climate of podcasts and this and that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to keep things organic and as true as possible to ourselves and the DNA of the brand. The DNA of the brand is, of course, the Upper Echelon. We want to continue. Let's do a little step check, crep check, hot steppers. We might do a segment called Original Steppers. Just see what the guests have got on their feet and that. Call it Original Steppers. We might have to trademark that. Make sure that's in the edit. Original Steppers. There'd be a segment where you can just see what's popping. You also know, you already can tell with this whole black outfit that we're gonna have our signature red popping. You can see it in the little light that's running behind me right now. And so, yeah, I said to myself, what do I want to accomplish if we come back into this space? Is it like subscribers? Is it million views? Like, we're going to do million views. We're going to be killing views. That's not a case of debate, but I want to make valuable content and thought-provoking conversations. So I didn't want to come back here speaking about old war stories or, a lot of men talking about the ladies and gal them and relationships. And whilst some of those topics are important, that's not really driving innovation. Right now, there's man them at home right now. There's ladies, they're looking for inspiration on their next, direction in life. How do you determine what is the right road to go down? If you're a business person, there's trials and tribulations that we're going to go through. I want to have those conversations with fellow business like-minded people. And if it's not business related, I want to have conversations with the type of things or across the type of things that we all deal with as humans. Dealing with stresses, finances, business, emotional intelligence. Some of these aspects, I just think there's a huge missing subject matter and platform within this space. There's a huge missing opportunity for a brand that we are to be able to fill, or this type of brand. I believe we can fill that space, that gap. So what we've been doing, we've been really making these garments. I've been making that Forever Young collection. We made it, designed it, put it out there. It's been getting great reception from the people. I really appreciate you guys that have copped and supported us, turn up to the pop-ups. Big up the king of trainers.
I'd like to begin with a fact. Whether in a small town like McAllen and the Rio Grande, or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, it is business. Big business.
Big business, man. Big up to the king of trainers. Oh, we got a live call. Let's take this call now, see where our guest is. Hello? Yo.
Yeah, I think you parked the side road.
Say again?
Did you park on the side road?
Yeah, the side road. You outside now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look for somewhere to park. Okay.
No problem, no problem. I'm gonna let I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna let you in a second.
Alright, cool. Because it's like a one-way road, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a bit back because I went past.
All right. Say no more. I'm gonna make sure I can come and let you know. Big up our guest, man. Big up our guest. He's made it. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out what African country he's turned up on today. I don't think it's Nigerian time, but he's turned up on one African country's time today. But I appreciate the love same way. So whilst he's getting ready to park up and come in, I was where was I before I got that call? I was basically wanting to give insight into how we're gonna fill that space. And we dropped that collection, the Forever Young collection. Let me just tell him what to do. Big up King of Trainers, Mr. Retro.
I'd like to begin with a fact. In a small town like McAllen and the Rio Grande,
Big business.
or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles.
Big up everybody around the world as well. I think this is gonna go. We're gonna do a little bit around here still. You know, this ain't just gonna be a London thing, Manchester, UK, Scotland. You know, big up my Swedish La Familia. You know, Hage, Guten Tag. Big up you lot in the States, man. I know you lot in the States trying to get some of this sauce, trying to get some of this big drip, upper echelon business. So big up you lot in the States.
I'd like to begin with a fact. Whether in a small town like McAllen and the Rio Grande, or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, it is business, big business.
So the reason I want to big up the King of Trainers is because this was one of the first pop-ups we did. How's this bag looking on the screen out there? You see it? It's got a nice monogram and that. This is Daniel D.Y. Pre. I fuck with it. Hard rucksack. Yeah, so big up the King of Trainers. They basically gave us the opportunity at Young Pharoah brand to be involved with the retro store. Did about 4 pop-ups there throughout the course of March, April, May, June. And it really allowed us to like touch the people. Great vibes around Shoreditch, you know, being Hackney born and raised, like it was always nice to be able to see exactly how the people resonate with the brand on a daily basis, people that I was bumping into from various backgrounds and various disciplines. So we did the pop-up a few times, about 3 or 4 occasions, and it was all about the Forever Young collection. And it's also been selling directly as well. So big up all you guys that have supported us. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys rocking pieces as well. People don't just buy Young Pharoah products, just say, yeah, boy, I support. We don't want you people that just want the people that are genuinely have a pride when they put on something that they've sought after. You know, they investigated it and they found it. And I appreciate you guys that have stepped outside of the box, stepped outside of what's expected from you to wear, or, you know, Nike Tech tracksuits, or, you know, we big up other brands as well. I like the space that we're in. I don't think anybody's doing what we do, and that's why I can happily sit here comfortably and big up other brands that are doing their thing, because none of these brands were inspirations to us. We were very much enclosed in our own direction, and I think it was family and friends of mine that brought me in to take a look at other brands in the UK that were doing things, but nobody was an inspiration to us until we realised, there's levels we can go to. So I'll big up the likes of Cortez when they do that collaboration with Nike and the Air Maxes and stuff like that. That's a big look, and it puts all of us in a great light, because, you know, for the most part, as long as you know, consumers and customers and lovers of streetwear are not only looking to certain brands of huge popularity, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, as long as people aren't only looking there and they're looking to us, it can only be a beautiful thing. So we, you know, put out the Forever Young collection. It's been doing great, and I want to continue to encourage you guys to support us, because once that suit, just like this suit, consistently asked about the 4.0 collection, once that suit is sold out, those the Naught Techno suits, we won't be making them again. So our collections, we really want to have a bespokeness to the market, where once we are in the market and we've brought these products to the market, they're going to live there, and then they can live beyond the time that they've been brought to the market. But we're not going to remake them unless it's like, years from now we look back at collections and say, oh, remember what we did in 2020, 21, let's do that again. But I really want to move on from collections. So I encourage you guys to get that Naught Techna 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in your collection. Rock it proudly. All season garment, rock it proudly. And I put it up against anyone. I put it up against any garments, any brand. Put it up against them. Rock it on the same day. You know what I'm saying? Rock it with whatever crepes you're thinking to rock it with. And let's see who looks flyest. Because there's one thing about us, we do it well. So now we come to the point where I'm gearing up to, I'm teasing with some new pieces. I've been teasing with a couple new pieces, and you'll be seeing that. And we'll be showing you in future episodes. We've also collaborated with another store. So I don't know if we had the store in place on the last episode, but big up you guys that have watched some of the snippets that I've put out over the last 2 years. A couple hundred of you are seeing it, because we weren't putting it out there for the masses. It was really for me, just to see how to do it, put it out there and be comfortable with it, And even in spite of that, without me pushing it, promoting it, it's still, just from our channel, the Dott Dee channel, people that know me for making music, come into the Dott Dee's channel where this podcast sits, and it's going to remain to sit there, and it's going to be a natural growth. It's going to be a natural progression. So I appreciate you guys that said to me, yo, like, D, ain't you gonna do that Upper Echelon thing again? Why did you stop? You did it once. Why did you stop? Oh. So in that case, it's just one of them things that I just wanted to, I wanted to bring it forth, because sometimes you get compelled and feel compelled to do something, and it's not based on anything else but your own inner voice. And for the most part, for the longest, I was just saying, I kept hearing my inner voice telling me, you need to continue to do this Upper Echelon show, because you guys, you're going to be, I want to have a community grow as much as we're growing as a brand. I want the community to grow with us as well. I want the brands that I affiliate with, the businesses that I affiliate with, the businesses that affiliate with us, we want them to grow as well. So that's the only way in which we can actually have this whole economy where, we're supporting each other, we're putting each other on Front Street, putting our businesses alongside each other, and really showing the people that, if you're not supporting your own, it says a lot about you. If you're not supporting your own, when you see that their efforts and their endeavors match up or surpass those that you think that they're not on the same par as, it says more about you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to focus on is the people that really share in this idea of really sharing money within each other, within our community. Not just one round of, I go to the hairdressers and I pay somebody to braid my hair, and then that money stops there. No, let's continue. So you've purchased something from Young Pharoah brand. That money that you've put into the brand, I use that money to go and invest in somebody who can help me on a photo shoot. I pay a camera person or videographer, or it circulates more than one hand, more than one revolution, and that's how you generate an economy of products and services. So again, I encourage you guys, any businesses, services that you are not only wanting to put forward, but you really believe that your products and services can be used by myself, it can be used by lovers of Young Pharoah brand, get in touch with us. We're going to have a few sponsors every episode, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be you. And there's no reason why, if your product and services is in line with what we want to represent, being the upper echelon in thought, in product, in content, then I want to hear from you. You'll pop the email address up there. pop us an email, get us on Instagram. And this is also open to brands as well, artists as well. You know, if there's new music that you're dropping, new content, new films you're dropping. I want to big up JR's restaurant. Why is this drum machine is moving fugazi? I want to big up JR's restaurant. Reason being is JR's been a long supporter of the Young Pharoah brand. JR's restaurant, you'll find, I think they've just opened up a new location in Ilford, and they've also got a location in East Ham. It's a Caribbean food, high quality Caribbean home cooked cuisine. And just as a black business owner, JR, and as a family, the JRs, call it the JRs, they've been, you know, like a real supporter of the Young Pharoah brand, and I appreciate them. And you guys, get on down there and place some orders, takeaways, right? JR's restaurant. We'll put the address up, put their phone number up as well, so you guys can get in contact with them. They're officially sponsoring this podcast and have been a long-time supporter of Young Pharoah brand. So salute to JR's, and you guys get on down there and enjoy yourselves. And in the building we have my good friend La Familia, Pennificent CEO, man, like A-Town. I appreciate you making the time to come down and mess with us, man. Like, for those of you that don't know, he's not only is Pennificent a good friend of mine. We've known each other for over, I want to say 15 years now. He's also an entrepreneur. You also might notice that he's wearing the Young Pharoah 5FY2 Tony leather jacket, which he actually copped for himself and his missus. Just to give you a little background on the mindset of this brother. And he also was a supporter of this collection here, which was from 2 years ago, which he copped for himself as well. So I want to introduce Pennificent. Pennificent, welcome to the Upper Echelon. So Pennificent, like, obviously I know you as A-Town. I'll call you A-Town for all intents and purposes. But what is the brand Pennificent?
So I would say Pennificent, to very short in it, it's like a UK Marvel.
UK Marvel.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody knows what Marvel is. If you don't, it's comics, animation, right?
Animations and it's just about giving a voice back to our community. You know, Marvel is sometimes they relate to urban American vibe, but this is more UK. What we're going through, the struggles we're going through, and just giving a bit of creativity back to people, giving young people their voice as well. That's our main thing.
So I've seen from the storylines that you're not doing the sci-fi stories like Marvel. It seems as though you actually are doing storylines of what would be regarded as a relatable story to our background.
I think it's just about opening your mind, really. The creativity aspect of it. So it's like a sci-fi universe, but modern situations are going to be addressed in those stories. Okay. So if you really deep what Black Panther, Titarian is basically about oil. I'm stealing oil from Africa, but they've just made
right. It was the special materials.
Yeah, the special. It's just like everyone knows Africa's got all the resources. Like most of these countries don't have it, so they go and do war and then grab our resources. So they just made it in a metaphor. There's a lot of metaphors that people do in comics and art. So it's about doing clever metaphors, because we hear the same stories all the time about the rose. It's very predictable. So it's about doing something that's relatable, but that's non-predictable and can inspire.
Right. And how did you guys go about from inception, like in terms of getting a book published? And I've noticed that you guys get support from the community, like schools and institutions. Like how have you been able to build those relationships?
I think the first thing, being authentic. I think that's one thing that's just kept me grounded and kept me, because when you're trying to do something, a lot of people, they don't understand your vision, will try and make you go different directions. It's too violent, you have to do this, you have to do that. You have to be very real, like how we are, more real, right? And keep that and like being authentic all throughout. And also being able to articulate yourself. You got to mix it up. So if I'm with the man, there's a certain way I talk. When I'm with you, I talk a certain way. when I'm in professional, it's a better way to still keep yourself, but just that professional element. So I think for us, we started with the whole councils. Like we're working on our local councils, then building connection from then. Then from there, then we got our chance with like the mayor of London. And then from there, it's just networking. You have to network.
What are the councils going to help you guys do? Are they trying to get into the schools or like?
Yeah, I think it's important because like especially with schools, even if you say you want to do a free workshop, if they don't know you, if you're an unknown entity, they wouldn't want to touch you.
Right.
Because
Okay.
even if I was to say I want to do a comic on mental health, it's political. It's like, but what do you know about mental health? Are you a doctor? There's so much stuff there. But the council, they've got all the links with the schools. They know all the schools, and they're like a voice that they trust. It's their local council or like government, they trust their voice. But I guess that's when you're trying to get in. But once you're in already and you show yourself, then you don't need anyone. Your work talks for itself.
So like with the financing of things, is it a program where you hope that you can get into schools and they can actually pay for like the beneficent team to come in and educate the youth as to stay away from some of the issues that you're addressing in the comics,
Yeah.
or touching on in the comics? Like, is that how the relationship with the councils can be, like financing and
Yeah,
pay for it?
yeah. So I would say, especially when you're up and coming.
We will be getting to the bottom of stuff like this on future episodes, such as ringtone etiquette, phone etiquette. Apologies, guys. We're going to edit this out. Guys, you're live on the Upper Echelon show right now with Dott Dee and Beneficent. You guys are actually live, and we're not going. Should we keep this in?
Yeah, might as well.
We might as well keep this
Now
in.
they feel bad. Look at the
Can you-
faces.
like, what are you going to say about yourselves, both of you? We need more than that, girls. We need more than that.
What's the point of discussion? Hi.
We was talking about some really important subject matter with Beneficent, the comic animation business. So I'm gonna get.
I don't know much about that, so I'm gonna log out.
Well, what you're gonna do is tune into the episode, which you guys have interrupted. Now, you'll see yourself on it, and obviously you'll know more about Beneficent and this episode as well. So we'll speak to you soon. All right, ciao. Say bye, Pen.
Bye.
Peace. That's so real. Like I think is important as well, because like you're saying, coming into schools, coming into colleges, how does a brand become known when these schools and head teachers they don't know what's going on anyway?
I think
How do you get their
I
attention?
think the main issue is like they're stuck in their own ways. What is safe is what they use. So they fund the same people, right? And I think when you get to the council, the first interaction with them was to get like a grant where they gave us a certain amount of figures. Then if I'm allowed to say this, but I'll say anyway, around 15k to do certain workshops in schools. I guess once you do that, then you prove to yourself you deliver, because it's all about evaluations after. Once they give you government money, they're onto it by how is it getting spent, evaluation. I guess once you do that, then you should be able to generate your own money. So then you don't really need to rely on grants. So we haven't had to rely on grants for ages. I can't remember the last time we applied for a grant. What we've done more into is tendering, which is a different aspect.
Tendering process. Is that bidding for a particular project?
No, it could be just like, say right now, right? Like you've got your YP designs and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
You can, like, let's say if you go to into a retail place, like River Island,
Yeah.
or retail, you can say that, look, this is my proposal. So you write a proposal, say, can I speak to whoever's making the decision? Write a proposal, I want to put this amount of clothes and this is how much I want you guys to pay. So when it's sort of contracts and tendering, it's your proposing idea for them. So it's much more smoother because you're not relying on too much on the evaluation. It's like, look, I want to deliver this amount of workshops.
Right.
This is how much it's going to cost.
Right. And then you submit that to the council.
Yeah.
And then they go through their judicial process
Yeah. But you could do it to everyone because I've done it. I can't really name companies we've worked with now, but we've done a lot of tendering process with different companies, like big organizations, charity organizations. So you can literally, it's like negotiation, and it's what they get for it as well. Because they might say to you, we want a customized design.
Mm.
Can you do that for us? How much would that cost?
And would that is that a comic based on their business? Could it be like
Yeah, so
you
it's-
putting together something for their institution?
Yeah, so recently we had to do one on asylum seekers, for example.
Mm.
So they're saying they want a comic to help young asylum seekers to like feel more relaxed when they go to the UK.
Right.
So they want us to, and then part of the.
That's a good idea, actually.
So we went to Manchester. I'm talking. So we went Manchester.
Big up the money. Big up the Mancurians.
Yeah. So we went there, and yeah, the proposal was like, look, I want so amount of money. So obviously it's gonna have to cost like traveling cost, hotel cost, and we want to do a workshop upskill your asylum seekers, so they know. So teach them how to create like a comic book, a comic strip, and then through that process, we'll create this asylum seeker comic for you. So those are clear indications of what we're bringing to the table. So it's upscaling your young people, and also we're delivering a customized comic for you that you can distribute however you want to do. So I think it's just about, it's so crazy because people think, oh, but they're paying you, but when you deep it, they're getting a lot out of it. So you just got to let them know like what they're getting out of it as well.
Right. So you're putting essentially bespoke packages depending on the client. You guys identify their needs, and then you're actually putting together a solution. And I think this is really some of the things that we want to touch on the Upper Echelon show, because the business model the business can vary, but the model always really needs to come down to what solution are you providing? You know, what changes are you trying to evoke?
I think it's kind of debatable because you're in two minds, right? So it's all good to create bespoke, but as business, you want to create an atmosphere where you've already got a solution, you're not creating it. You've already got products for it. So it's like for you, like put in an example of your design right now. You've already got hard designs. That's what I'm trying to say. So your main thing is, look, I've already got this.
Yeah.
Give it to them. It's more cost effective than you creating something.
That's straight, like brand new, like
That's brand
a
new.
3 foot shoe.
Yeah,
A shoe that you can wear
because
2
like,
feet.
think of all the biggest brands,
3 foot
right?
shoe.
Think of all the biggest.
I'm
brands.
going mad, as Young Spray says. I'm going mad.
You gotta go with the flow, man. But yeah, like, so yeah, you have to, like, for you to keep doing what you're doing, because it's like you've already got products, right?
Yeah.
That think about all the biggest brands that you go to clothes. They've already got clothes that you can click and get it right now. So rather than you doing bespoke. Bespokes is good sometimes, but you've already got the project. Why don't you? It's about you convincing them that you've already got the solution to their problem. So, for example, if we're going to school, I've already got mental health comics. State of Mind, they're all about mental health.
Right.
So it's not about me creating. It's like, look, you have an issue. There's been a big. It's about identifying their problem as well.
Into your actual.
Yeah.
You've touched on it actually. You've touched on it because, like you said, when I wanted to design the garments, I wanted to infuse the technicality into the garments so that I can then lead with, okay, you're looking for something to wear on a night out. You don't want to overdress, but you don't want to look casual. You know, you want something to wear all seasons. Like, I put all of those issues into the garment, and like you said, you're also putting together a range of products where the issues that you know schools or humans are facing, you're making content around that already. So a school can already identify how this fits in. And then if there is a bespoke element, you're able to do that too.
Yeah.
Which is like us, like we've been making this jacket that you've got. I made them very exclusively for friends and family, La Familia. Like, I didn't make hundreds of them, didn't make 50 of them, kept it very small. But then the bespoke ones, they would be even more smaller of production, because that's for one or for one or for one. So I get it. Like, you don't just need to consistently be making something that's not
Because you know,
in the market.
Okay, to ask you a question. So, what is the disadvantage if you keep making bespoke garments?
To keep making bespoke garments. I think on that model, you can't really scale. I don't think it's a great scale or scalability.
I think. Okay, I'll put it from my side, right? there's nothing wrong with making bespoke comments, but you always weigh the pros and cons, right? So they pay for you, so it's covers, you're making profit, right? But the issue is the time consuming. It's very
Very time consuming. It's more time consuming to make bespoke stuff that we do too. Yeah, you're right.
because
Very
you're
time
doing
consuming.
it, and then you have to, and also it's bespoke to them, so it might not be relatable to someone else. So like, for example, we just went Belmarsh on Friday, because we're going to be working in Belmarsh soon. So asylum seekers ain't going to relate to the man them in Belmarsh. So I'm trying to say, because it's bespoke to them. Whereas if you make content that's relatable to everyone else, it's more feasible and it's more scalable. So that's the disadvantage. Time consuming, and it's only a niche for your customer.
Yeah,
They've made it bespoke for their needs, not everyone else.
it doesn't appeal to the masses, and I could even draw similarities to the Upper Echelon show. Like, what is going to differentiate this platform from things that, like, there's a few things that it'll catch my attention, and I'll give it some, but it never seems to grasp me, like hold me. Do you know what I mean? Because the subject matter, the content is always, I find, not as thought provoking that I'm looking for. Do you know what I mean? I can be entertained at some points, but I think where we are going to fill this space is that there's people that are going to be tuning in to this episode here, and they're not aware of Beneficent. They may not have been aware of Beneficent, but now they're able to see that within the community, we've got businesses that are actually doing things not only from a creative standpoint, but there's a real value to society behind it, right? You know, if you're able to drive change in different formats, whether it be asylum seekers, whether it be prison reform, whether it be, you know, disadvantaged youths, like these pockets of innovation, people aren't really aware that there's opportunities in this type of space, you know. So I think where I want us to fill this void is to let you guys know of the types of entrepreneurs like A-Town and his team, and how you can also tap into the community as well. So tap in, and as you can see, what we're doing here has got a greater aspect to it, there's a greater objective here with even the Young Pharoah business. People often say like, I like the name Young Pharoah, I like the name, and I think they usually say it basically because it's thought provoking. It makes you look back. The word Pharaoh makes you look back. Beneficent, I used to think, what does that mean? What does it mean?
It's pen and magnificent fused together.
Pen and magnificent
Fused together.
Listen, guys, your only regret is going to be that you shouldn't have done it sooner. So we want you to continue to support us. Get in touch with us, Beneficent. I'm going to put the Instagram up for Beneficent's brand. Appreciate you again, my Brody, coming through. Man. This is my co-host for today, and you're going to see him and maybe more of your team as well. More of the team will come
notice,
through.
Man.
Yeah, I'll give you more notice. Like, to be fair, my man pulled up within 22 minutes of notice. That's how you know, like, you know, we're always going to try and put on for you lot. Stay tuned for the next episodes, and also get that Nort Techna MK1 suit. Let us know about that. There's a few of the 5FY two-tone leather jackets as well. Made the green one as well. And then you might have seen an infographic on Instagram that we just put out of some of the new pieces that we've got coming. Like, just, they're going to be pre-order only. All right. So last words, stay blessed. Over and out.
Yeah, sorry.